Arab, Western missionaries as well committed. So in this, he was talking about some mission planting, and he was pointing out some failure or mistakes we have been committing in global ministries. So these two statements are my start point, and we will see them. Then how the history and also Bible and missiologists talk about these issues to train and to mandate the Great Commission where global churches are. Okay, firstly, biblical foundation. Jesus Christ himself chose disciples and trained them and entrusted the Great Commission and sent them forth to the world. It's very clear. Now, when Jesus said, "You will be my witnesses in Jerusalem, Samaria, and ends of the earth," right? Some scholars say that the ends of the earth was Spain. But what about this one? This is a map, the first century map. We call it the map of Strabo. Can you see that? This is Jerusalem, and it was China and India. So the first century earth was quite bigger than we think. So this is global mandate. It was not just a local mandate, but it was a global mandate from our Lord Jesus Christ. And Paul, think about Paul. SungIl says that Apostle Paul trained and appointed indigenous believers as church leaders. And churches grew in Paul's absence. Take note of that. The church grew in Paul's absence. And SungIl says that the indigenous Christians delivered the gospel to their neighboring places, and it became the foundation of church. Now, I just want to draw your attention to this map, right? This is the church, the Colossae. And the Bible says that the Christians in Colossae spread the gospel neighboring places. Then what about Thessalonica? The people, the church in Thessalonica, they became also great witnesses. What about this one? Thessalonica. And Apostle Paul says that you did a great job. You spread the gospel wherever you be involved. And he told that, and he described the church in Thessalonica as a church full of works of faith, labor, and love, and patience for helping Jesus Christ. And says that as well as missionaries to spread the gospel to Macedonia and Achaia. Right? This is the Europe. And Christians in Thessalonica, they became missionaries and they expanded, they spread the gospel beyond their borders. That is my question. Apostle Paul stayed in Thessalonica only 3 Sabbaths, right? However, the Christians in Thessalonica became wonderful and active and energetic witnesses. They were willing to cross, they were willing to go beyond their borders. We can see that. This is what the Bible teaches us then. And Apostle Paul also teaches us the core values of training. 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 2 says that, let reliable men be qualified to teach. It means that we have to choose reliable men. We have to train them to be also teacher, to teach the gospel. And 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 16 says that, watch your life and doctrine closely. Watch your life and doctrine closely. Not theology, but doctrine. So Modern Latin also says that St. Paul seems to have left his newly founded churches with a simple system of gospel teaching. Just a tradition of the main facts of the death and resurrection and the Old Testament. But the point is that, biblically speaking, the converts of Apostle Paul all became missionaries. They went beyond their border. Well, then what about historical foundation? Think about the historical reference. William Carey, he says that he understood India as mission fields in mission field. And so he reaches it to a conclusion that it is only by means of a native preacher we can hope for the universal spread of the gospel through this immense continent. Only through native preaching. What about missions in South Pacific Island? Beautiful islands, right? But John Williams is a pioneer. He believed that the evangelization of the Pacific could be carried out only by Christians of the native races. Only by native races. And according to the achievement, according to the labors of native missionaries who were willing to go other islands, Stephen says that many indigenous missionaries watered the seed with their own blood. But the churches grew, and far more widely than if reliance had been placed first and foremost on the European missionaries. It tells us efficiency and effectivity of native missionaries because they are familiar with the local and neighboring circumstances. Do you know this man? Tertullian, Cyprian, Augustine? Yeah. We cannot talk about theology and history without them because they lay the foundation of Christian theology. But I'm going to say that these three people, scholars, were ministering in North Africa. But what happened in the 7th century? When the Islam spread, North African churches declined and faded away. What happened? What made the beautiful, the strong North African churches faded away? There are many reasons. Many scholars and historians talk about that. Some talk about the absence or lack of translations of the Bible into local languages. Yes, that's a crucial reason. You can see that Alexandria, Carthage, and Antioch were the three centers of theological activities. So important places. But historians point out the absence of native Bible translations and the absence of indigenous priests and lack of missionary zeal for the rest of North African provinces. All the priests, right? All the priests in North African territory, they were all imported by Romans. They had Mass in Latin, not in local languages. Wow. So the church, Herbert King concluded that the church never became true indigenous, and the native Berbers were left untouched. It means that if the North African churches trained and appointed and entrusted missionary zeal, missionary enthusiasm, missionary passion to the local Christians, we may have different histories. Then what about, this is the historical foundation. What about missiological foundation? Roland Allen, he says that the church was first established and organized with a worldwide mission for worldwide work. It was an organism which grew by its spontaneous activity. It was the organization of a missionary body. Take note of that. It was a missionary body. For every member was potentially a missionary. Dr. Paul Pearson, he says that no church is genuinely indigenous until it becomes missional. That's until it engages in mission in one form or another. We just think that, wow, what is indigenization? Overnight, to plan, to establish local church and national church. But they say that we should go beyond just the establishment of national churches. Ralph Winter, the left one is what he said in 1970s, the right one is what he said in 2000s. So, I will not talk about this one, but here he says that the mission that continues evangelism and allows and encourages an overseas church movement to become missionary is doing a very strategic thing. Not just church planting. We have to teach, we have to enforce local churches as missional and as missionaries. That is a very strategic point. This is what he said. And he gives us illustration. Suppose a certain mission agency goes to Nigeria and establishes 50 indigenous churches among the Yoruba. And those churches then plant even more Yoruba churches. In that case, the efforts to achieve the initial missiological breakthrough would be called mission. While the further church planting is with expansion, whether by missionary or by the Yoruba churches, would be considered evangelism. But if now the Yoruba send missionaries to break through to a culture group where there is not yet an indigenous church movement, then you can say the Yoruba believers are not only involved in ordinary evangelism, but also in cross-cultural, in the creation of a new worshiping tradition of Jesus followers. Such efforts classify as a mission activities. So even though we do church planting ministry globally, we have to think about mission. Do not regard others. Wow, this is a young church, so we have to wait until they grow. No. We have to emphasize the mission as early as possible. Now, then what about Marenelson? He was the former missionary to Korea. He was teaching in Acts. And he said that our first goal is to establish indigenous churches, and our second goal is to help the church to organize their own mission society, that together we may fulfill the Great Commission. Not only church planting, but also mission planting. He was talking about it. Oswald Smith, he also says that the business, the one and only business of a foreign missionary is to train native workers and put responsibility upon them. The natives are the key, he says that. Mobilizing natives as missionaries is planned, tried, and tested by the early church, a plan fit to every country in the world over, a plan that completely solves the financial problem, a plan through which the Holy Spirit can operate. God's plan. It is God's plan. Training natives, training indigenous church to take part in the world mission. He says it. Then, it is clear that the essential point of indigenous church movement is the evangelistic missionary vision, namely dynamic involvement in mission. So, we have to go beyond ordinary church planting. It can be applied to all the situations in Asia. Now, I like to approach to the practical part. This is what I am doing here in the Philippines. We are doing mission planting. In other words, we say indigenous missionary training program, called missions. This is our training ground. It's only 1 hour away from this place. If you like, you're welcome to visit, to drop by and have a look of it, and we will serve you. Okay, the Paul mission. Okay, the Paul mission. This is established in 1986. It's Korea-based organization. As of March of 2016, 451 Korean missionaries in 96 countries. We focused on 6 areas, training leaders, but our main goal is equipping local disciples as global missionaries. Equipping local disciples as global missionaries. This is our key. So, based on this one, we are doing many activities and many ministries, but we always remember this one, equipping local disciples as global missionaries. But in order to understand our policy, I like to spend just a couple of minutes to talk about our motivation, our foundation. The Paul mission is motivated by one of Korean pastors. His name is Reverend Dong-Hil Lee, and he established Jeonju Antioch Church. This is a missionary church. This is southwest of Korea by Reverend Dong-Hil Lee. He started as a mission-focused church, challenging church members to be either outgoing missionary, either to be sending missionary, either to be prayer missionary, or supporting missionary, family evangelizing missionary, cultural missionary, street missionary, or workplace missionaries. He challenged all church members. And church slogan is that, I am a missionary. Live this comfort life for mission. Now, the characters of this church is that this church spends more than 70% of whole church budget for mission. More than 70%. Recently 80%. Supporting 500 missionaries and 24-hour prayer for 25 years. I will show you the church building. Church members are more than 8,000. Right? Can you see the church building? It's the same. Can you see that? This is church. Still same. Same, no construction. We cannot build because it is made by some team, like a demo juice team, like can. We call it can church. Half sliced canned church. Inside, okay, I was only 13 years old. This is the first day, they were just guests. This church was started with only 10 church members. Can you see the inside? 6 years later, still same. And nowadays, we just covered the ceiling, but we did not build our church buildings. Because this church spent more than 70-80% for missions. So we do not have beautiful buildings, but this is our slogan. Live a comfort life. Live this comfort life for mission. That spirit infects all Paul mission missionaries. We believe that mission has nothing to do with money, but the spirit, but the spirit, but the spirit. The spirit of dependence on God. Yes, this is my beloved home church. And based on this spirit, the Paul Mission Philippines started our operation in 1986. But in 1996, the Paul Missions relocated its church planting missionaries in the Philippines to Islam dominant areas due to the conviction that the Philippines will be a missionary sending country soon. So at the same time, the Paul Missions Philippines transformed its ministry focus from church planting to mission planting through theological education, pastoral training, and missionary training, called nowadays we have frontier missionary training program. So we do not have enough funds, but we know that when we pray, God will answer. This is our spirit. So this is our current trainees who just finished last February. They had commissioning services already. Now we are altogether 12. 9 trainees and 3 trainers. I myself and my wife and our coordinator. But here, only 12 persons, but there are 6 nationalities. Philippines, Ivory Coast, Vietnam, Bangladesh, USA, so Korea. So 6 nationalities are here already. Small community, but already trans-cultural, intercultural community. This is our training ground. This is our training mission statement. We exist to train indigenous Christians who are called by God as international and balanced missionaries in faith and practice for extension and expansion of the kingdom of God in our generation. So this is our vision statement, and these are our core values for training. 5 areas: life transformation, acculturation, missiology, physical fitness, and spiritual enrichment. Based on these 5 areas, our programs are designed from 4:30 in the morning until 9 p.m. Some may say that, oh, it's too hard. But I can say that this program is designed by Western structure, Asian diversity, and Korean initiative. But all is mixed together. We work together. So, sorry. Better. So this is a process. We do not just accept our trainees. They are all recommended by local denomination or local mission agencies. I have interviewed before accepting them, and they entrusted their missionary leaders, future missionary leaders to us, and we train and we send them back and we work together. So mobilizing, recruiting, and 6 months training, we stay in training, and 3-year term. At the time, we will give a dual membership. After 3 years ministry, our missionaries will come back to the Philippines. They will have 6 months debriefing time. After that, they will go back. So many people ask that. All right, for the first 3 years, Koreans and the Filipinos, they work together to raise funds. After 3 years, when the Korean foreign agencies stop supporting Filipinos, what will happen? What will happen? I would say that most of them go back to their mission field again. Without foreign support, they are willing to go back. They are willing to go back because they have missionary spirit. Because during our training, they will share their missionary training program here with us. It's not easy, but we focus on the intimate relationship with God. Mission has nothing to do with money, but mission has to do with the power of the Holy Spirit. So after 6 months training, they have commissioning service, and we have MOU with local denomination and local agencies. So we work together, we mentor together, we counsel together, sometimes discipline together, and care together. Because we believe that this is a philosophy that, okay, we will give initiative to our Filipino organizations. So let them care, let them continuously split and train and mobilize Filipino people. But I believe that in near time, we will close down our training program for Filipinos because Filipino churches can do that. However, we focus on other nationalities now. So that's why we had pilot program last year to invite Vietnamese and Ivorian and Bangladesh. I would say it's really wonderful. Now, conclusion and interaction. When I look back, our ministry, I will say that we encourage a long-term missionaries after 3-year term and national mission-minded ministry. So those who finished their first 3-year term, they come back. And some started local ministries in the Philippines. You know what happened? They do mission-oriented ministries. So they train their local Christians with a missionary heart. And they bring them to mission conference as well. So that's why what happened now? Now, their people, their students are applying for our training program once again. So it is really wonderful organism now. And concrete partnership with the indigenous mission agencies and flexible training curriculum responding to change of this work. But I will say that I am very thankful to our lecturers. Even though I'm a facilitator, I'm teaching, however, the speakers groups composed of 6 or 7 nationalities: American, British, Canadian, Chinese, Filipino, Korean, and others. And one of Canadian speakers, he's willing to come to the Philippines to teach our trainees. We can't afford to pay for his flight schedule, flight fare. He's willing to come from Canada to Manila. and even other American, British, Canadian, other nationalities, they are willing to join us. They are willing to train together. We do not give them a great amount of love gift. Just give them, provide them just transportation expenses or gasoline expenses. They are willing to come. They are willing to spend whole week with us. Am I right? Because they are sitting here, I cannot tell a lie. They are the witnesses. So, they are having great intimate bonding with our trainees. But I have the criteria to invite the trainers. They must be bilingual. They must be well balanced in academic area as well as experiences. So they are so much blessed and encouraged by our lecturers. We are one in teaching, training, sharing this vision. So it's not only Power Mission's work. We work together. So that's why I would say that there is an urgency of a symbiotic Pan-Asian mission network. So let me just for that I will share one video clips what they made for their missionary training. After that, our two missionaries will confront and they will share their training experiences with us. At the time they were trained with 9 Korean missionary trainees as well. during the weekend, they go for the outreach ministries, for the local churches, for their spiritual experience. So for Vietnamese or other nationalities, these are their cross-cultural evangelistic ministry already. They were given opportunity to visit one of these people groups in the Philippines. And for 2 weeks, I brought them to Vietnam and Cambodia, where our Filipino missionaries are working. So they will observe the lives and ministries of Filipino missionaries, and they will have sort of bonding time to talk about actual missionary life and ministries. Before that, they learn how to speak Cambodian language as well. Faith trip is the journey without money, without food for 1 week. From Baguio City to Manila, they have to depend upon God alone. They are not allowed to ask any shelter, food, anything. Let them just ask God to provide everything. And God was faithful enough to provide everything. So that is their essence of missionary training. We will not ask people, but God will walk through human beings. But we will ask God. Ask God. I did it also. Okay, thank you very much. Can I invite, may I call on Miss Lone Mancini? She is going to Paraguay soon.
Hello, I'm Love Mancini, Filipina, and I'd like to share about my training in convention. The highlight and the best training that I had, the best one for me is the faith trip. You see, the faith trip is we were only given a budget just to go in Baguio City, but after that we will have to depend on God and how to go back here in Manila. So if bus ride, it's like around 7 to 8 hours bus ride, and we have to come back to our training center for 5 days. And, but I'm really thankful that we really tasted and see that the Lord is good in our training. We depended on God, and my faith is tested in there. There are times there that I said, Lord, is my faith is really small? Why we didn't have any place yet to stay, because it's dark already. But then from the time that your faith is really going down, or you're losing your faith, it's the Lord. He will really tell you, see, if just hold on, and I will do it for you. I will provide it for you. And I'm really thankful that I had that experience, the faith trip. So after that experience, after our training, everything, as I walk every day, it's always a paycheck for me. So yeah, that's our training in conversion.
Thank you, and thank you very much. And Mrs. Rhea, very much true. She's Filipina, but she got married to Bangladesh gentleman. So they will go back to Bangladesh. So, Mrs. Rhea.
Good afternoon. Yes, I'm Filipina and I'm married with a Bangladesh people. And I'm proud to be part of FMT. And through Full Mission, I realized how God really works to us, to me and to my husband, that we're looking forward that God will use us from the Filipino to be a bridge to go the mission with the Bangladeshi people. Yes, and in for me, we experience how to have intimate relationship with our God through we wake up 4:30 a.m. and we do devotion, and they train us from our spiritual to physical and how to be firm on our faith. Yes, that's all.
Thank you very much. So this is what I prepared, and as I told you, yeah, 15 minutes left. So when we finish by 2:30, it means to stay 2:25. Okay. If you have any reflection and comment and question, you are free. Please.
Can you tell something more about the faith?
All right. Faith.
How many days they go? Where they stay? Do you provide house to stay, or they themselves have to find out?
Okay. God provided everything.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
God provided through even non-Christians, even governmental officers, even tricycle driver, even truck drivers. God provided. God sent all the angels. But we cannot explain. But it is God's wonderful presence. Are you sure? Okay. Thank you very much, sir. So that's why after 3 years, even though we stopped supporting, we still have a close relationship. However, they have courage, enough courage, right? Go back to mission field without foreign money, but because they have faith. Yes, any questions? Yes, sir.
Yeah. Few questions. Selection of the candidates.
Yes.
United States.
Yes.
Who select them? What is criteria before they come? And then the commission support for first 3 years.
Yes.
Do they go to the real frontier area without any other, like foreign missionaries, or
Yes.
is those kind of
Okay. The first one is the how to recruit selection process. Second one is the mission field selection as well. So firstly, the recruiting selection process is two ways. Number one is we accept the trainees from our partner organization. They know us and they respect our evaluation as well. After training, I submit 8 pages evaluation paper to them. When I drop them, they also drop. So firstly, we accept those who are recommended by our mission partners. Secondly, we accept our mission trainees through interview. So for missionary Love's case, I interviewed more than 12 missionary Filipinos, but she's the only one who passed it. And secondly, regarding the mission field policy, firstly, we respect the decision of our mission partners. When they want to send them to the place where they want to send, they will go. For example, Graham. Yeah, we have MOU with organization as well. So we basically don't send our missionaries to their own home country but it was based on our mutual cooperation. So that's why we decided to send Mr. and Mrs. Chu to Bangladesh. And also regarding frontier mission project, yes, definitely yes. Especially Africans, they can go beyond our Korean or Western European missionaries border. They are willing to go to real front line places as well. So we communicate and work together with our partners. That is our policy.
What is the minimum educational qualification you fix for the residents?
It's okay for me to. Qualification is very simple. The candidates must be clearly sure of missionary calling, and educational background must be over university graduation, college graduation. Because training program is not just ordinary module. They are all, our lecturers are well balanced in academic knowledge and experience. And also, some modules are certificate modules, such as TESOL. Yeah, without college certificate, they cannot join.
Yes.
Because we train them as a leader too. So in order to make the impact on the mission fields, of course, missionary calling is very important. But based on this one, in order to maximize, we select and those who graduate.
What is the duration?
Sorry, sir.
Who decides where to send?
Excuse me, sir.
Who decides where to send?
Send was
Where to send missionaries? Number one. Number two, what missionary plans the church? Do you give your name of the church, or will it be independent church, or what is the system?
Okay, sorry about it. The first one is, I think I already explained. Yeah.
Who decides where to send?
Who will send? Okay, dual membership firstly. So for Filipinos, for the first 3-year term, whole mission and our mission partners, they have two dual membership. So that's why we can closely work together. But after 3 years, they will only join their mother organization's membership. But still we have very close relationship. But the second question is about, sorry, but can you kindly clarify?
Yeah. When you send missionary to other country, when missionary plants the church, do you give your denominational name, or can it be independent, or will it be under the sending churches? What kind of criteria?
Yes, you mean the receiving, regarding the relationship between sending body and receiving body, sir. Am I right? Okay. There are two ways also. For example, in Bangladesh case, from the Philippines we send, there is a receiving body there too. In her case as well, we send, and also there is a receiving agency and body also. So regarding their training evaluation, I also submit all the documents to them. Before that, we have some administrative works together. Because if we just send these missionaries to there without any reporting or any information to the receiving body, they will cause, they may become some problems. There is some, maybe some disharmony may happen. Yes, sir.
When was the scheme of financial support while we are working in the relationship once they are already established for 3 years?
Working, sir.
Working kit, mission kit for the first 3 years, the scheme of supporting financial support. Who will be the one? The sending money or something like the church organization or for mission?
Regarding the finances,
Financial support.
we also work together. For example, when we support, once again, this lady, the Bangladesh, the Paul mission does not send the money, the mission fund, mission allowance directly to their account. Instead, we send first to their organized foundation in the Philippines. Let her organization take initiative to raise funds and let them send the mission funds to them. Yes. So that's why let them have more initiative because they are Filipinos. But our job is to assist, not roll over, instead assist. We give excellent training experiences. After 3 years, we stop. So that's why they can continue. Because we stop sending mission funds to them. But it was her organization who was continuously sending and carrying and raising the funds, so they can continuously going forward. That is our system. But it does not mean that we just send the money alone. Our mental support and our spiritual support will go together.
It means after 3 years, you don't have a direct relationship with them anymore.
We have, but
No financial.
only no financial. No financial.
So, totally their name of the ownership is the ownership of the name as a missionary belong to their own
Yes, sir.
denomination or
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because so that's why since 2003, the Paul missions trained more than 137 non-Korean missionaries worldwide. But we keep this policy because we are just assisting organization. So we want our partner organization will take more initiative and let them train their people in the future. That is our goal. No problem.
In a sense, I really appreciate your labor and your effort producing that indigenous local missionaries extending to other nations. But in other sense, how do you think about this way, the situation of Philippines? Philippines is divided by Muslim and Catholic with foreign Christians. Most of the people in Mindanao, they are belong to Muslim.
Yes, yes.
How do you, if you train or retrain the indigenous people as a missionary in Mindanao area for Muslims?
Yes, we are actually now examining that point of view.
So you don't have yet.
Not yet. Because in the same manner, we're thinking of Indian missionary trainings as well. So we can offer our training programs. Because the Christians in India, there are many other groups as well. In the same manner, maybe that may be possible in the future.
That's why I'm checking about your policy. What is your criteria of your policy choosing or selecting the mission field? If it is you think the local, the same area in the same country, it is quite totally different
Yes, I understand.
cultural context. Don't you think it is a mission field?
I would say yes.
Then why you couldn't improve their context?
Very simple. Because other organizations are doing that.
There are a lot of
Yes,
training.
yes. But our training is very unique. Yeah, so that's why other organizations are doing already. So that's why we do not do what others are doing.
I think you have some different spirit again.
No, it's not different spirit. When we do not devalue the spirits in Mindanao, but it's just a kind of policy. Because, that's it.
What is the duration of it?
Pardon?
What is the duration?
6 months.
6 months.
Yes, 6 months stay in training.
Okay. And you are thinking of India?
Our missionaries are planning to start at the same time as the ministry.
When you start in India, you think of at least 1,000. You train 1,000 at a time.
Thank you very much. At worldwide, we have 3 training bases.
In China, it'll be 10,000.
Minimum to start.
Okay. Brazil, Sao Paulo, and Philippines, in Africa, but the Philippines is the research and development center. We revise, we update our training program every year, and we train and we test it. I'm very sorry, but we do in order to make the best and excellent circumstance for all global missionaries. Okay, thank you very much. It's already 2:30. I promised you I will finish by 2:30. Yes, sorry. If you have a question, you can just come. Yes.
Sir, you said this ministry is going on since 2003, is that right?
Yes.
So, do Philippine churches, those who are sending province or local churches, they really financially independent of their sending
Yes.
well?
Yes. Many people doubt it, but I have one family, now they are in Cambodia. We strictly keep that 50-50 policy. And now even they are raising more funds than us. Filipino churches can do that. Now they are doing it. And millions of, actually so many OFW, overseas Filipino workers, they are also joining this ministry by supporting Filipino missionaries. So the Filipino economy is booming. So God is bringing. And also one more thing, budget airlines such as Air Asia and Seven Pacific. Yeah, even Seven Pacific takes our passengers to Dubai. So God is making all the circumstances. So that's why I praise God. Thank you very much for joining us and God bless.